3. How to stop womanizing or chasing after every girl you see for purposes of sleeping around with them. Stay tuned. Just before we get into it, let's open up on the dangers and the problems of sleeping around. Womanizing does not pay. If it did pay, all womanizers would be billionaires. But if the truth were told, many womanizers come to ruin and poverty at the end of the day. Losses and more losses are the legacy of womanizers. If womanizing pays, King Solomon would be the greatest king who has ever lived. But as it is, this honor went to King David instead. Despite his wealth in gold and silver, King Solomon lost himself, lost his own soul. He lost God, and there's no greater loss on earth. For what shall it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose his own soul? From the life of King Solomon, womanizing has 5 inherent problems or dangers. Number 1, it distracts you from loving God, and in the end, your relationship with God suffers irreparably. You end up losing your soul, you lose your rank in eternity. What a loss. Number 2, it distracts you from loving other men. We don't have any one man named as a best friend of King Solomon, even though they had a treaty with King Hiram. That's all we know about it, but that was a business treaty. You become full of your own ways, and you don't need other sensible men to tell you that you're wrong. Number 3, it distracts you from raising children in the ways of God. We don't have any godly legacy in any of King Solomon's sons or daughters. Number 4, it distracts you from loving your wife or the woman with whom you are meant to fulfill your destiny in God. We don't have any legacy of godliness from the women who are associated with King Solomon. If anything, they led away his heart from God. That all that they did for him. Number 5, it distracts you from sharpening your skills to perfection. You lose your skills, gifts, and talent at the altar of just one more orgasm. King Solomon was supposed to be the wisest man who has ever lived, but we don't see loving men and women who distracted his heart from God as being a wise move. That was a foolish move, and yet he was a man that always came so strongly against foolishness and acts of the sin. Now, 3 ways of stopping womanizing. Number 1, prioritizing. We know that whatever a man prioritizes, that is that which he pursues. No one wakes up one day to realize that he's a womanizer. It's a journey, and behind that journey, there's nurturing to maturity through focus. A womanizer works so hard to get women to bed because that is his focus. I can assure you, it is not easy to get a woman to bed and dress her and end up sleeping with her if it has not taken some hard work. Whatever a man focuses on, he will accomplish. Those who prioritize God will find him. God rewards diligence. If you seek women diligently, you will find them. If you seek God diligently, you will find him too. So, if you must stop womanizing, then stop prioritizing women and the search for an orgasm. Number 2, you must despise the pursuit for pleasure. In the last days, men will be lovers of pleasure more than lovers of God. The one more orgasm does not satisfy. You keep developing cravings that cannot be quenched, that cannot be satisfied. Why? Because your soul is wider than creation. Number 3, you must know what legacy you want to keep. You don't want to be spoken of as like King Solomon, whose love for God was drowned by his love for many women. Be remembered for something great in God's kingdom, at least among your peers or contemporaries. Fix your focus on your talents and giftings. Give your meaningful talents the time and the resources you'd rather waste on women. You will find that you focus on all you build your legacy on, away from sleeping around. Give your time to something else apart from pleasure. Remember, pursuit for pleasure has left many men poor and broken, without a name, fame, or legacy. Do not walk that path of ruin. God bless you. Spread the love and subscribe to our channel. Meet you in the next video. Amen.